This story is called The Mitten. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. He looks like he lives in a place where there's lots of snow. At first his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look back to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So off Nicky went. And it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Do you see his mitten? I see it in the snow there. He was playing up on the tree and didn't notice he lost it. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. Do you see the mole? There he is. Right there. He's going inside. He's going inside the mitten. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he weighed in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Oh boy, now we got a mole and a rabbit in the mitten. See the rabbit going in the mitten? Next, a hedgehog came snuffing by. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. Oh boy, there's the rabbit, there's the hedgehog, and the mouse is inside there too, all in that one mitten. Oh boy. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled, but when they saw the owl's glinting talons, they quickly let him in. Oh boy, look at those sharp talons he has. Well, look at them all in that mitten, the mitten stretched out. The rabbit, the hedgehog, the mouse, the owl, all fit into the mitten. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thump. Oh boy, look at them all coming on. All getting into the mitten. The mitten keeps stretching. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotted by, stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. Oh boy, look at, they all want to get in there. How is that fox gonna fit in there? A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as they could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged so many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Oh, Baba must have really knit a good mitten because it's holding all those animals. Along came a meadow mouse no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. You see her in there? She's on top of the great bear's nose. Look at all those animals. The bear, tickled by the mouse whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Look at all the animals. They're just... Oh, there he goes. Achoo! And they're just scrambled all over the place. They all shot up into the sky. Oh, but there comes Nicky on his way home. Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. There's his mitten that went up into the sky when he sneezed. Oh, he's got his mitten back. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Oh, that's good. He's almost home, and there he found his mittens. So good for him. And Baba looks like she's really pleased that he's got 2 mittens, but one looks so much bigger than the other. And he probably doesn't even know how many animals were in that. Well, that was a good story. That's called The Mitten. I'm going to send it. Hope you liked it.